Welcome, Lee. How's things been this week? Obviously, it's been I suppose maybe a busier week than you were hoping for with comings and goings. Yeah.
Yeah, off the back of a really disappointing result at the weekend as well. Listen, we've not got our fires to fight in relation to the injury situation we're at, and we never expected to be having to look for two, never mind three, new central midfielders in the space of 10, 14 days. But that's what we are, that's the hand we've been dealt. We're not going to make excuses about it, we deal with it. We've been lucky to get two over the line. We're scrambling around trying to find another one, but it would have to be the right one to come into the group. I mean, ideally you would want experience, height, aggression, that type of thing, but again, one, we've got a budget to work to. Two, these players are very few and far between, and three, it all depends on the parent team if they're willing to let them out on loan, or ultimately if you look at players that are free agents at the moment, they've basically missed a full pre-season. We're now 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games into the new season off the back of the Cup as well. So we're searching high and low, and we'll get there in the end. We've only got a day and a bit, a few hours now to the window closing here, but then we've still got the month, the loan window in Scotland as well. And as it stands at the moment, majority of the Premier League clubs are keeping all their players in-house as it stands, because they're still trying to finish off their own squads themselves.
Would you anticipate anyone else coming in today in time for the weekend sort of thing? Or thing?
We were hoping. We've been speaking to a couple of lads. Unfortunately, it looks as if that's going to fall through, but you never know. You never know. Things have been tighter than this. But if that isn't the case, then no problem. We'll go with what we've got. The lads have trained really, really well off the back of a disappointing result, as I said. We've gone through the video again. We've shown them areas that we felt we let ourselves down on Saturday. But hopefully we can put them right in a difficult game up at Arbroath.
Yeah. How have Jack and Roy slotted in? Obviously Jack came in very late last week, and he's had a full week now, and Roy's had a few days with the guys.
It's good for them to get. I mean, Jack was sort of thrown in a little bit like Alicia was at Morton. Jack didn't even have a training session. Alicia had one training session, was thrown on in the second half against Morton, which was difficult. Jack didn't even have a training session, was on the bench, and then got the last sort of half hour or so at Dundee United. But they'll come on a ton for having the week under their belt of training. They've both settled in really, really well. I think the lads have realised that they're good players and will be good additions to the group, and they are fit and raring to go if selected for Saturday.
Yeah. Obviously they've come from big clubs, or clubs with good pedigree, and like Newcastle and Brentford in the past, so you're hoping that'll rub off?
No, 100%. I mean, ideally, that's the type of calibre of player we're after. They are young boys, and they are still finding their way with their own careers, etc. So they are still learning, but they're hungry. They're desperate for the opportunity. They see it as a great opportunity in the Scottish Championship to come up here, get games under the belt, develop themselves as well. As I say, they've bought into the group and the culture in the changing room, and we're hoping that they're really, really good additions on top of the lads that we have in there already.
Lee, difficult result as you mentioned at the weekend there. Last season you really hammered home that message that things can really turn on their head in the space of 90 minutes. Is that still a message to the squad?
100%. That's this league inside out. When you look at the results elsewhere, there was a few, I don't know, before the games on Saturday, and then you see the results. Maybe one or two would have thought that Morton would have beat Arbroath, but that's just the way the league is. I think it's going to be all this season. I think teams are going to beat each other week in, week out. We've got an opportunity, as I say, in a tough game at Arbroath to get another win, puts us on 6 points, and it drags you right back in the pack again, because, as I say, other teams are going to beat each other, and it's going to be like that till the end of the season. So all we can do is try and take care of ourselves. Not easy, I get that. Every game's going to be difficult this season, but I'm sure Arbroath are looking at it as an opportunity for themselves to get up to 6 points as well.
Yeah, so on that note then, how do you make life difficult for them?
We're going to show a lot more confidence on that's what we've been trying to do. We have to play a lot more compact. I thought the team was too spread out, too stretched on Saturday against Dundee United. We maybe showed them a little bit too much. I'm going to give them too much strength to themselves, and we played, as I say, we didn't play to our usual shape. We were stretched, and I don't know, I think it was one of them that, don't get me wrong, they never cut us open at all. The 3 goals we lose are the most important things, and those 3 goals were certainly avoidable when it's 2 set plays and then a mistake that we've not seen before. So there was some good stuff from the game, but overall it was one that we had to work on, and we will play a lot more compact. We'll try to show a lot more quality on the ball as compared to Saturday there, and hopefully get at Arbroath, and I'm sure they'll pinpoint weaknesses in our game, and we'll try and identify areas that we hopefully can break them down and get the result we want.
Throughout your time here, Lee, you've always been, mentioned how the subs are very important to obviously the outcome of matches. Arbroath's always a physical battle, so it's going to be really, really important come Saturday that the subs come on and have a real impact, because they're going to be knackered coming in.
Yeah. I mean, with the addition of Jack and Roy coming into the group, it certainly strengthens the squad, and it also strengthens the bench, no matter what 11's picked. And we've also got bright young talent as well to come off the bench and make an impact against Dundee United on Saturday. So no, listen, we're very lucky. Our academy lads, the guys that work in the academy, do a brilliant job, and as I say, over the years, like your Brydens and your Mackenzies and your Smiths, and now Ollie Eckerpont and Dylan, and obviously Scotty are coming through the ranks as well. And I've always said that they're not there as a token gesture. They're there on merit, and they deserve their opportunities. And I thought Scotty brought a bright spark to the game on Saturday as well.
And Scott mentioned there, you obviously had an unexpected outgoing this week with Ollie Penderby heading back down south. A couple of fans have been obviously asking online about, is there any background that you can give to that? Well,
ultimately, there'll be conspiracy theories anywhere in relation to this, and I've seen it in the past. That's why I've come off of social media. So it doesn't matter what you say, somebody will think it's incorrect. Listen, ultimately, it's a young man's personal circumstances that have come up, and I'm not going to sit here and divulge anything about anybody's personal circumstances. I think that's private to Ollie. We're aware of it. We are not here to throw anybody under. We're here to support people. We're a football club that ideally would rather have Ollie stay at the football club and be part of the group. But sometimes certain situations occur, and we are here to support them as human beings, not footballers, as human beings, and we'll just wish Ollie all the very, very best in what his future holds.
And Scott, obviously you were a mainstay for the 18s team last season, and this season you've made the step up to the first team and got a number of minutes off the bench already. How have you found the step up overall?
I've enjoyed the step up, because obviously getting that full pre-season in with the boys and then training every day, felt like I was improving, and then when we get into the friendlies in the cup, getting opportunities to play, so try and show the gaffer what I can do, bring to the team.
And in terms of obviously working with the first team, the experienced boys in there, do you try and take as much off of them and learn from them? Yeah, especially in my position, you've got obviously Jamie and Aidan who have came in, so they've got tons of experience and they can give me tips and ideas and how I can improve as a player. So. We were speaking off camera earlier on there about how when you came on against Alloa within about 2 minutes, you were setting up flying in the air, and the guy obviously get set off. That must give you confidence that that shows that players are frightened of you. Aye,
it does. I hope that's the last one, but I doubt it will be. But aye, just shows that that's sometimes what they need to do if they need to try and stop me from running at them. So.
You know what? When you're bringing young players through, and this is a story I'm going to tell you in relation to Scotty, and Scotty will back this up. Last year, Scotty was due to be in the squad. I think it was later on in the season, type of thing, while he was with the under-18s. But I went to watch the under-18s, and they let his standards drop. And he'll admit that himself. And so I made a lot of people would say harsh decision to just haul him out of the squad again, because I think I had to put down a message to the rest of the under-18s that, one, earn the right to get in the squad, which he had done, but if you let your standards drop, then that's not going to be acceptable. You can't just get to a point and then drop off and think you've done it, type of thing. So I felt bad. I did feel bad. It was harsh on the kid. To be fair, his teammates stuck by him and thought it was harsh as well. I've got to stick to that. I'm sure his parents thought the same thing as well. But credit to the boy. He's come back. He's took that on the chin. He's learned from it. He's really, really has worked over the summer. Come back, had a great pre-season under his belt, and he's been excellent. He's improved through the roof in relation to attitude and belief in himself and everything like that. So he's fully deserved every opportunity he's got, and he's got a massive future at the football club. So I'm trying to get back in his good books again, or his parents' good books, one of the two.
Scott, how's your view of that? Do you remember that the same way?
I remember it. I think it had to happen, if I'm being honest. I'm kind of happy it did happen, because it gave me that kick that I can't just come off it. I need to get proven every week. So kind of happy it happened now, looking back at it.
And again, it wasn't just a message to Scott, it was a message to all the young boys, because there's a lot of talented young boys there, and it's all about setting your standards and maintaining your standards if you want to become a regular in the first team, and that's certainly what Scotty's done over the last few months.
It was interesting watching you through the time that you've come into the first team as well. But for me, I said to you earlier, the testimonial match you played up at Troon, where you stripped the legs off the full back non-stop. They had to bring in another full back to try and cover you. And then I think they brought 2 men in to cover the area where you were playing, and you were still going past them. You seem to have really got this confidence going up against players. Now, there was a step up, players from the juniors level that you would think, but you're now doing it at the full level, and you have that confidence. Yeah. Do you see any difference since last year in that type of play?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm more direct in my play. Just try and be as positive as I can and try and get the team up the pitch. And just to keep working on that final part, I can hopefully just keep improving.
Touching, I suppose you'll be focusing on Saturday leave. I know it's a bit of a strange week. We've got the Falkirk game been brought forward thing. Does that change any of your plans, or just in case of getting Saturday out the road first and then see?
No, it'll be Saturday out the road. Listen, we do look slightly further ahead in relation to where we're at, because Frankie will be away as well next week. It's an international break, so Frankie won't be available for the Falkirk game. But it'll be an opportunity for us to give lads a game as well. Ultimately, we do want to get through the game, but the bigger picture is that there's lads there like your Finnecker Ponce and Elishas and other lads that maybe haven't seen as much game time that will be given an opportunity in these type of games potentially. So it was always a game that we had sort of pinpointed to give boys game time, especially that the reserve league's not up and running yet. So we won't be taking it lightly, but because ultimately, I mean, Alicia's played at Lincoln, he's played against Morton, Finn played against St Johnstone, so it's certainly not weakening the team, it's just giving boys opportunities to play, and that's where we're thinking. That might change between now and then, don't get me wrong, all depends on what happens Saturday as well.
Another thing that was announced this week was the testimonial for him off sort of thing against Celtic. That's something obviously pleased that have been hanging on for a while to try and get that organised. Pleased to see that get fixed on.
No, it's been brilliant. I mean, ultimately you wanted it done over the summer, that type of thing, but trying to get the right opposition that would hopefully bring out a decent crowd for him off, because let's be right, he is an Ayr United legend and deserves that day out there. And it's been brilliant that it's his sort of boyhood club in relation to the team he supported as a kid growing up that I've taken the time to play a part in that as well, which is great. So no, it really is something to look forward to. It's great having Aidan at the football club as well to help advertise that link as well. So I'm sure Moff will be looking forward to 1, playing against Celtic, and 2, getting back out on the Somerset again and strutting his stuff, shall we say.